So what we have is the chapter solid state. Solid state. So we have to consider this first word, right? Solid. For solid, before starting the chapter, I will start with a abstract concept, that is of a cube. Because basically in this chapter what we are going to do is we are going to fill atoms in a cube. We are going to fill atoms in a cube. Okay. Now I will ask, you all know cube, right? Please, I need a series of yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Now you all know cube. Yes sir. Afroza, yes sir. Okay. Okay. Yes sir. Okay. Okay. Yes sir. Okay, fine. Okay, a lot of yes sir. You all know a cube. Okay, fine. So the first thing that I will ask is, tell me the number of corners. How many number of corners? Number of corners in a cube. Okay, fine. Somebody has answered. It's not a square. Somebody answered for square. Someone might reconsider their answer, I guess. Okay, most of you, okay, fine. Yeah, now you have corrected, right? So we have 8 corners. Oh yes. Oh my God. No. We have 8 corners. Okay, somebody didn't get it right. I mean, I guess the person was counting the corners. Okay, counting the corners. Otherwise, after this, I will tell you the patterns in everything. Chemistry is all about patterns. Okay, chemistry and science is also all about patterns. In universe, we find patterns and then we have some theory and then we predict the future. What is science? Okay, fine. I guess I should start with science. What is science? What is science? What is science? What is science? One line answers. Anyone? What comes to your mind when you hear science? Technology. Okay. Scientists. Okay. And anyone else? Scientists, universe. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Scientists and universe. Okay, fine. I will let you know. Science. What is science? Science is the study of the universe, very rightly said. But science has something. Science makes predictions. Science is all about knowing the future. I mean, it sounds like astrology, but it is not. When you know a velocity of a person, you can tell after 1 hour he will be reaching a certain point, right? If a man is traveling, if a thing is traveling, right, it has a velocity. It has a velocity, right? It has a velocity. So you can tell hour he will be reaching that point. You are predicting future, right? It makes predictions. Science makes predictions. Okay. Then, but these predictions are falsifiable. They are falsifiable. What does this mean, falsifiable? This means that if that person is if you predicted the velocity and you said that he will reach, let me say, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He will reach Saudi Arabia in 2 hours, but it didn't reach. That means your prediction was wrong. The prediction was wrong. That hypothesis has been now rejected. That hypothesis has been rejected. If it is correct, then it has been approved. We have approved that hypothesis. So science, it makes predictions and it makes falsifiable predictions. Okay, so this is about science. I should erase this now. Science. This is okay. You got an idea what is science? What is science? And by this definition, you will be able to differentiate that what things are not science. Okay, if somebody makes any anything. Like there are some people who say believe in science. You don't have to believe in science. You have to just falsify it. If you cannot falsify it, it is true. That's it. Okay, fine. Now we come back to cube. We have our little cube here. Number of corners. Now number of edges. Number of edges. Number of edges. Number of edges. Okay, I have got only two answers. Okay, I guess. Okay. It's a bit messy, right? I mean, we cannot count things in 3D structures. It is difficult to count the edges and corners. I mean, you count something, then you recount it, and you sometimes you leave it, right? So what you need to do is, let us erase this cube. Okay. Whenever somebody asks the number of edges or number of, then start making it. What you made a square. Like consider this a square, okay? And you made another square, right? You made two squares. Then you have number of corners here, 4 in each square. You connected the square, you connected the corners, So you didn't create any new corner. You made a cube from two squares and you connected the corners. So one square has 4 corners, two square has 8 corners, right? And each corners are connected also. So now we can answer how we get this answer, 8 corners. Fine. Then how many edges does a square have? What is an edge? What is an edge? Edge is the line which connects two corners. Edge is the line which connects two corners, right? So for square, we have 4 edges. And a cube is made up of 2 squares. That means we have 4 into 2. Then we need another 4 lines, these lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 from one square, 4 from other square, plus the 4 joining line, which will be equal to 12. Did you get this? I'm not talking. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. If everybody can answer, it will be very great. Okay, fine. You need to understand the process, right? I mean, there you will get people who will be just who would have memorized all these values 8, 12, and etc., but they couldn't answer. If somebody asks a new question, what happens in examinations, the examiner doesn't ask what has been taught, he asks a step further that has been taught, right? So you need to understand the process. The process is, we make two squares and connect them. For each square there are 4 corners, and when we connect two squares, we have got 8 corners, and we have got 4 edges from one square, 4 edges from the other square, and 4 connecting lines. That is equal to 4 plus 4 plus 4, 12 edges. We have got 12 edges. Okay. Am I going too fast or too loud? You can inform me. I mean loudness. Okay, fine, great. Number of edges. And now I am gonna ask you number of okay, I messed up the spelling of diagonal. Number of diagonals. Now start counting. If you all count, number of diagonals is equal to, I think this will take a bit time. 4 diagonals. Okay, let me have a sip of water. You can have your sip of water after counting the diagonals. No 6. Okay. Somebody is counting very fast and changing the answer. What is I think? What is I think? Don't say I think. 8, 8, 6. No, 4, 6. Okay. Oh, not. Okay, fine. Now once try with the squares, the squares that we have made. Okay, fine. We will come to diagonal later. Tell me number of faces. This will make it easy, I guess. Number of faces is equal to. Okay. Okay, fine. The angle must set 12. Number of faces. 6, 6. Right, you are going right with number of faces. Here is this part. Yeah, somebody clicked. For someone, diagonal answer clicked. Okay, I'm glad. Okay, fine. But there was, okay, fine. We have got the answer for faces, which is 6 faces. But for diagonal, there was a bit of hidden question. Diagonals are of two types. You can see in a cube, we have faces, which are 6 faces. Right? You have 6 faces. And each face has 2 diagonals. And these are called face diagonals. I mean, now can you all can stop answering now. We have got 2 diagonals, and these are called face diagonals. We have got 6 faces. Each face has 2 diagonals. That means we have total of FD face diagonals is equal to 6 into 2 is equal to 12. But what is a diagonal? Diagonal is something that joins 2 opposite corners, right? Diagonal is something that joins 2 opposite corners. And in my cube, I can see that I have one more opposite corner, which are these 2 corners, and I can join them. So I have got also this. This also joins 2 corners, but as it is going inside the body of the cube, it will be called as, any guesses what this diagonal will be called? Any guesses? Any guesses? This is called face diagonal, interdiagonal. Okay. Somebody, okay, fine. Another closed diagonal. Okay. Anyone else? The diagonals of face are called face diagonals. The diagonal inside the body of the cube is called body diagonal. It is called body diagonal. Okay. Now you all can start either guessing, or you all can either start logically counting the number of body diagonals. Number of body diagonals. Number of body diagonals. 2. Okay, I have made 2. And obviously, I wouldn't. I mean, if it was only 2, then I wouldn't have shown all 2. Now I'm giving you a bit of hint now. 4. Okay. 4. Okay. 2 people have answered 4. Very nice. Anyone else? Oh, you don't know. Okay. Jubana and Diangmo, you both have answered 4. Can any one of you unmute your mic and explain how it is for? I mean, okay, fine. We have got 3 answers. Okay, one person is not answering, I guess. We have 6 participants and Fatima has not answered. Fatima, are you understanding? I hope you are. I am at least audible. Or am I going too fast, too slow? Oh no, wait a second. Fatima has left. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. As it is. Jubana and Diangman Afroza, any one. Or should I choose one? Jubana now. Okay, fine. You explain. If you can unmute your mic and explain how it is, or if you can type it in chat, if you can explain. No, you can write. No, it's fine. I mean, if you cannot, since square has 4 sides. Okay, so okay, writing. Okay, since square has 4 sides. And the other people, you try out reasoning out. Okay, the 4 is the correct answer. I will say this 4 is the correct answer, and start reasoning out how will you explain it, because this is very important. uh, when you know something, you should be able to explain it in concise manner. Okay, since square has 4 sides. No, I no, that's not right. Okay, for a cube, since it's a combination square. Okay. 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 Afroza has. Hmm. Afroza has wrote the right answer, and Jubana has also, I mean, went in the right direction. Diangmo, if you can explain a bit. No, one diagonal for each corner of triangle. Bingo! Exactly. I'm very glad. I mean, this rarely happens that each and every person in a class answers this question, right? The thing is very easy. We need to understand the definition of a diagonal. The definition of a diagonal is the a line which joins the opposite corners. The line which joins the opposite corners. So what we just need the number of corners. We just need the number of corners and divided by 2. Right. Divided by 2. So body diagonal is equal to 8 by 2, which is equal to 4. And Jubana has mentioned we are making this from a cube is since a combination of square. Fine. So C also went for the same thing. I mean, if you take 2 squares, it has 8 corners, and 8 by 4 is 8 by 2 is equal to 4. I mean, that kind of logic is that kind of reasoning is also very right. It's also very right. I'm very glad you all came with all these answers. Okay. Now, what you need to do is, I will erase a few parts. These diagonals. Did you understand now? I mean, how you should answer questions if you have, and how you should recognize patterns. How you the importance of definitions and patterns in science. Okay. Now I'm drawing a face. Okay. I'm drawing a face of our this cube, and I'm drawing its a diagonal. Okay, fine. This is a face which has a length, let us say A. Okay. What is this? What is this? What is this? Answer me, please. What is this? What do we call this? No, but we have two kinds of diagonal. Which kind of diagonal it is? FD. Okay, fine. FD is equal to FD is phase diagonal. Phase diagonal. Okay. Okay. Afroza has not answered. It is a phase diagonal. I hope. It is a phase diagonal. Okay, fine. I guess I'm receiving the messages late. It is phase diagonal. Okay. If this is A, if this length is A, what will be this length? This length. I should be fancy, right? I should be using different colors. Okay, I have one question. What is this? What will be the length of this side? The one which I have marked in red. Okay, I have got an answer. I've got answer, another answer. I'm waiting for one more answer. A, everyone. Okay, fine. A with some extra respect or what? Diangmo. Some extra respect to A. Okay, fine. This is also A. Okay. Now answer again this thing. I've added a question mark earlier also, and the same thing. I will add the question mark. Oh. Okay, I'm just kidding. What will be this length of this? If you guys are guessing, I will be really hurt if you all are guessing. Somebody wrote a right answer, and the person wrote in correct way. I will say somebody wrote A-2, something like that, and you wrote in a correct way. I mean, there is another way of writing, and which is a bit not. It is not wrong. It is not wrong, but it is not very correct way. It's not very precise. I'm waiting for one more answer. Afroza, you may try again. Afroza, you may try again. It's not correct. You may try again. I will give a hint. It has got to do. You can calculate it by a theorem. I will. It is called P theorem. P theorem. Uh, not P exactly. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Calculate. Diango, are you having any problem? I mean, can you know? You know this theorem, right? I mean, you have to complete the sentence. This. I'm not giving the whole answer. Yes. Calculate. Array, don't be in a haste. Don't be in a haste. Diangmo is also, oh my god, fancy. Fancy. I really like it when we have these symbols and all. Afroza, you may reconsider your answer. There is something missing. Check the calculations. You might have missed something. Okay, fine. This is Pythagoras theorem. I mean, everyone should be now knowing Pythagoras theorem. Now, how to calculate this? What we will do, we will say FD, phase diagonal, is equal to phase diagonal square. Wait a second, those all of you who were present, please wait a minute. Fatima has just joined. I will ask a few things to her. Fatima, did you mistakenly left, or what happened? Can you hear me? Okay, you are having network issues. Okay. I have here 1, 2, 3, 4. No, Afroza. I mean, no. It's not correct. Fatima. I mean, at what point did you leave? You left at 1, 2, 3, 4, or you didn't even see 1. We discussed all these things 1, 2, 3, 4. At 4, number of faces. So you know about phase diagonal and body diagonal. You know these terms, phase diagonal and body diagonal. Yes. Okay. You know how we calculated 12 and how we calculated 4? Yes, sir. Okay, fine. Now, tell me this 8. What is this 8? What is this 8 here? And the others can also answer. What is this 8 here? In body diagonal, I have written 8 by 2 is equal to 4. Others can also answer. I mean, it will be a bit of revision, a very quick revision, but still. What is this 8 I have written here? Corners of, right, okay, fine. Corners, I will not ask further questions. Corners, okay, fine. Everyone, Fatima got it right. Okay, fine. Then, what I was saying that, Fatima, you may listen now. I have drawn a face of the cube. I have drawn a face of the cube, and I have said that each side has a length of a. Each side has a length of a, and you need to calculate the length of the face diagonal. You have to calculate the length of the face diagonal. Can you calculate, Fatima? It is based on Pythagoras theorem. I'm just going a bit fast. We calculate. Okay, fine. This will be equal to a square plus a square, right? Now, if we do a root here, and we have to do a root here also. I mean, in both the LHS and the RHS, then this root will cancel this thing. We will get F diagonal, face diagonal is equal to, and a square plus a square is equal to how much? A square plus a square is equal to how much? Okay, 2a square. Now under root 2a square. Now we can remove this a and we can write a root 2. We can write a root 2. Okay. So the length of the face diagonal is equal to a root 2. The length of the face diagonal. Okay. Also, I will one thing. You all should note this. Okay. You all should note this. It's very important that face diagonal is equal to a root 2. Wait a second. I should not write it like this. Let me confuse you. It is a root 2. Okay. But if somebody says it is root 2a, it is correct. Root 2a or a root 2 means the same thing. But you don't want to remember it like this. You don't want to remember it like this. Never remember it like this. It's very wrong to remember. If you remember it root 2a, you will sometime write it like this. The a will be under the root, and this is very wrong. This is very wrong. Just so wrong. So wrong. Okay. Promise me you all will remember this. A root 2. Right? Say a yes, sir, please. A root 2. A root 2. Yes. A root 2. A root 2. The worst thing that can happen is you know an answer, but you make a mistake. That is the worst. You don't know an answer, it is fine. But if somebody makes a mistake when he knows the answer, it hurts the person himself or herself. Now I'm going to ask you a question. I mean, and it is a very silly question. The question is, what am I going to ask you next? I have asked you the length of face diagonal. What am I going to ask you next? It's a very silly question, but still. Area. Oh my God. Area. No, area. Not what. No. Afroza, you may. Right. Afroza said it right. Now calculate the length of body diagonal. Calculate the length of body diagonal. I mean, this will take a time. So everything which is going to take time, I will sip a bit of water. I mean, you all, please, I mean, remove your, take away the pen and write, yes. You all are calculating, right? Please write a yes. Okay, fine. Now I can have a sip of water. This is not Sprite though. It's just water, plain simple room temperature water. You all should also drink a lot of water. Drink a lot of water and breathe good air. I was in Delhi. Delhi has a very bad quality of air. Very bad quality of air. I enjoyed Delhi, but Delhi has very bad quality of air. It's seriously bad. It's 16A root over 2. Okay, we will see what it is. I mean, we will see. We will see what it is. We will see. No, you have to calculate the length of body diagonal. Just the square. No, not square. The body diagonal. Body diagonal. Okay, I will give you 10 more seconds, and then I will tell you to keep your pens aside. Then you have to keep your pens aside. I will count to 10. I mean, okay, I will not count. It will give you some kind of very anxiety. I will just wait for 10 seconds. I'm putting up a timer. Okay. You can try it for 10 seconds. Then after 10 seconds, I will. 10 seconds is very good. Okay, 15 seconds, 15 seconds, 15 seconds. Yeah, okay, fine. Now please keep aside your pens. Please keep aside your pen. Every one of you. Aside. I will delete all these things. These are just of no use now. Delete this. Oh my god, something didn't get selected. Delete this. Something's again remaining. Delete this. Really miss the good old days before pre-corona days of teaching live in classroom, getting a yes sir and no sir instantly with audio. Okay. So the question is calculate the length of body diagonal. Calculate the length of body diagonal. What is the length of body diagonal? First we calculate the face diagonal, right? So we have these 2 points and we need to calculate the length. So you should remember one thing, that this is one path. Let us call this path A, and this is path B, right? We should always know that this path B is the smallest distance between the points. Clear up till now? Clear up till now? That B is the smallest distance between the points. Clear. So whenever you have 2 points, you need to calculate the distance between them, you can always draw a right angle triangle. You can always draw a right angle triangle. You can always draw a right angle triangle to calculate this, right? Okay, fine. Now getting towards our old cute cube, our cube, and we will calculate the body diagonal in the same way. I'm drawing a bit large now. Okay, I will take, this is a corner, this is a corner, this. Okay, fine. How many can tell me the angle between these 2 lines? Let me make it of another 90. Okay, fine. I have got 90. Anyone else? 90, 90, 90, 90. Right. So the first thing that I did, was I made a 90-degree angle between these 2 points. I traveled a distance, then I went up. Fine. A 90-degree, and then I will make a right angle triangle. Then I will make a, I hope it joins. Yes. Now this is our old good body diagonal, right? Okay. Now I have got A point, this is point A, this is point B, this is point C. Fine. Up till here, clear everything? I mean, are you understanding up till now? First, what you need to recognize and you need to identify a right angle triangle between those 2 points. What you have to do, you have to remember this, okay? You have to identify, number one, identify a right angle triangle. Now we need to calculate the ball time, but just now it's very easy, right? Now it is very easy because just now we need what we need to do. We need to just apply the Pythagoras theorem. Tell me, AB is what I will say, AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square, right? Am I right? This is according to Pythagoras theorem. Am I right? Yes, sir. I need some more. Yes, sir. I need, yes, sir. Another. Oh, I need one more. Yes, sir. I mean, the person who is not writing, yes, sir, he is, or he, or I mean, or everybody is a she here, I guess. She is just writing everything. You need to keep aside your pen sometimes and write, yes, sir. That will be beneficial for you only because you need to understand things much more than what you write. Okay, now tell me, AB is equal to how much? AB is equal to how much? AB is equal to, just keep aside your pens now, everybody. A, okay. AB is equal to how much? We have defined this length, right? We have defined this length as A, okay. I need few more answers. Yes, not capital A, small a. I am very particular about that. Not uppercase A. We have lowercase a. Yeah. Thanks for correcting. Thanks for correcting. A. Okay, I've got every answer. Okay, AB is equal to A square. What is BC is equal to? BC is equal to how much? Now this BC is equal to how much? BC is equal to how much? Two answer. I need more answers. More answers. More answers. One. Oh yeah. Okay, fine. I've got all the answers. Is it root 2a? Yes, but we will not write it like this. But we will not write it like this. How will we write? We will write it. We will write it like this. A root 2 square, right? Now this will be equal to a square plus, now this a will be a square and root 2 square, and I will make it clear. A square and we will have root 2 square. This will be equal to a square plus 2a square. Up till this point, clear everybody? Up till here, a square plus 2a square. A square plus 2a square. Everybody? Everyone? Yes. Okay. Now we are very near to the answer, right? This will be equal to 3a square. Now what is this? This is AC square, right? So AC will be equal to under root of 3a square, right? Now tell me, AC is equal to how much? 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 Somebody wrote in a very wrong way. Please correct it. I guess she was a bit late. Somebody wrote in a very everybody very good. A root 3. A root 3. Now just take a moment and just look at it, and now you can visualize everything, I guess, right? Now you can visualize everything. I mean, do you think have your imagination has been improved a bit now? Like when you can see a cube, you can see and imagine a cube in your mind. And if you can imagine something in this chapter, you all need, what you need is imagination, nothing else. You don't need maths, you don't need anything, you just need imaginations. Maths are just a very least amount of things here. Okay. Now I will give you a question. Now this will test. This is a test now. This is a test. Now this is a test. I will give you a question. You all should be worrying now. What type of question I'm going to give you? It is going to be confusing. And this will test. This will test everything. This will test everything. I should clear a few more things. I will clear a few more things. We have got borderline. I will remove the borderline. I will remove this. I will remove this. Also remove this. This. The length is the same. With this. Okay. It's correct. It's correct. It's correct. It's correct. Right. Now I can ask you a question. Are you all ready for the question? Let me make it. Okay, fine. This is perfect point. This is perfect. This is the midpoint. This is the midpoint, and you need to calculate this length. This is point. This is point A, and this is point B. The question is, I need to erase the silly part. Pythagoras. Everyone knows this is a Pythagoras theorem. Question. Calculate the length between A and B. Calculate the length. Yes, B is an opposite way. I hope each and every one of you is sitting in a cubicle room. Am I right? Each and every one of you is sitting in a cubicle room. Yes. So you can see this cube and imagine where the points are, and then use that room to create a right angle triangle. Only thing I will say is, first of all, the number one thing that you have to do, and that is the answer. The once you have identified the right angle triangle, you have known the answer. It is just maths, and maths will work for you. This is maths working for you. You are not working for maths. You don't work for maths. You make the maths work for you. You didn't know that AC is equal to A root 3. Who told you? Maths told you. You need to make the math work for you, right? So what you have to do, you have to just identify. What you have to do? Identify the 90-degree triangle, that is right angle triangle. Now, time for taking a sip of water, I guess. It's going to take a lot of time for you all, I hope so. Fast. Yes. No. Don't haste. Easily. Identify the triangle. Identify the right angle triangle. Come up with an answer. Okay, I am just writing the answer that I'm getting. I don't know. I have just chosen a point. I mean, I will calculate with you all in the screen. I don't know the answer. I have got an answer that is, it is 5a square or somebody wrote this. I guess she was saying this. This, the one with two lines or the one with one line? Somebody answered, no? Okay, okay, fine. So I'm erasing this one. Somebody answered this. Other people also tried. I don't know whether it is a right answer, wrong answer, very wrong answer. I don't know. This, okay. I have got an answer. Let me select this and move it here. This is the first answer that I have got. I hope the others are working. I hope the others are working. I hope the others are working. I'm not getting any more answers. Is it that hard? Okay. Same, I hope. Okay, fine. Okay. The same answer. I've got two answers till now. 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 Okay, another same answer, same answers. I hope you all are not in a classroom. I guess you all at home. You all are at home. All same answer. I've got one, two, three answers. I need one more answer. I need one more answer. Huh. Okay. Okay, fine. You all got answers right. I don't know if I get another answer, which is a root 7 by 2. Root 7 by 2. Fine. First of all, what we need to do, we need to identify the right angle triangle. Identify the right angle triangle. 2 is not inside the root. Okay. 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 I'm changing. This is right, I guess. A root 7 whole divided by 2. What we need to do, we need to only identify like did each one of you identify this right angle triangle? I mean, can you, okay, fine, this is 90 degree. Can I is everyone convinced that this is 90 degree? Is everyone convinced this is 90 degree? And also I will make this a point that what happens in imagination is you just go on with the teacher. Right? If the teacher says this is 90 degree, oh, okay, fine, it is 90 degree. You have to convince yourself. It's like you are convincing a person that it is 90 degree. How will you explain it? Please reason it out in your mind, and then only if you have a little bit of doubt, that no sir, I cannot imagine it 90 degree, I am not convinced it is 90 degree, can you please explain me, then I will explain it. Okay, but I guess you all can say this is 90 degree because we have similar situation here, right? We have similar situation. This is a part of phase diagonal and this is a side. This is a part of phase diagonal, this thing, the bold part, and here also we had a phase diagonal and a side. So the phase diagonal and sides are 90 degree to each other. Yeah, you all can imagine, it's great. Okay, now the whole phase diagonal was, let me erase a few things. We have got this is as C. Now we have BC is equal to, let me go with the easy one first. Tell me what is AC, the value of AC. This is C. C is this point. Two answers. I have got two answers. Please fast. I mean, we cannot take so much of time. Yeah. And please, I will not say please. It's an order. Everyone, keep aside your pens now. Just listen and answer. This is A. And how much is BC? How much is BC? How much is BC? Oh, silence. Let me sip a bit of water. One answer. That is the right answer. There was one teacher. I mean, I have got this habit of drinking water from a teacher. Like whenever the students didn't answer, he used to say that "मेरा खून जलता है." That is why I drink water. I mean, to again uh, pump all the bloods and get hydrated. I mean, he used to say that, but I like that notion. So I also drink a bit of water. I mean, you don't know when a person can get angry, right? I have got three answers. I am waiting for one more answer. One more answer. I'm waiting for one more answer. And for those who don't know what does khoon jalta hai means, it means like my blood boils. I mean, my blood doesn't boil. My teacher's blood used to boil, and then he used to drink water. And when the blood boiled, only when the students could not answer. Okay, fine. Somebody answered late, but answered right. What is this? What is BC? What is BC? BC is equal to, BC is equal to, it is FD, but it is half of FD. It is FD, but it is half of FD. And what is FD? FD is nothing but A root 2 and half of A, right? Now, we will apply Pythagoras theorem. Now we are coming to our point. AB square is equal to, AB square is equal to AC square plus BC square. Now AC is equal, AC square is equal to A square plus BC square is equal to, wait a second, I will I'm skipping a part and I will ask if you all can understand. If you all can understand, it's great. Skipping a part. 2A square by, till here, everybody, you all understood? I hope you all understood. I mean, a bit of you have only biology. That is why I'm making a. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So now this will we can carry. I guess this is very easy. 4A square plus 4A square plus 2A square whole divided by 4. right? Or can we do something else here? Can I explain the previous line? Yes, yes, please, please, please. This line, right? Explain this line. Afroza wrote, can I explain the previous line? Yes, you can explain. Taking the two. Right, right, right. What we can do here is, we can do this as a square plus a square by 2, right? I guess I hope you all were saying this only. We will 2 ones are 2, and oh my god, this thing is very sleepy. Up till this point, everybody is clear, I hope, right? Up till here. Okay, fine. 2a square plus a square divided by 2. Now this will be equal to 3a square divided by 2. I have to move your chat somewhere else. Okay. Now AB square is equal to 3a square by 2. Now AB will be equal to under root of 3 by 2 a square, and we will write this as a root 3 by 2. Got it? So I guess nobody answered correctly, and I don't think I really don't think anyone. Okay, tell me how many of you had problem over here, this part? Anyone, any problem up till here or this part? Any problem in these circled parts? Any problem? What? No, sir. Okay. 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 Somebody wants to be explained again. Okay. I will explain it again. I am waiting for no. 1, 2, 3. One more answer. Diangmo, did you have any problem in the mathematics? No, you didn't have any. Okay, fine. I will explain for one person. Okay, fine. AB square is equal to AC square plus BC square. What we are doing is we are taking this triangle. We are taking this triangle ABC. We are taking this triangle and we are applying the Pythagoras theorem. What we need to do is to find the distance, the hypotenuse. This is AB, which is hypotenuse. So what we do is AB square is equal to the base. That base is AC plus BC square. The BC is the perpendicular. We have got AC from here, that is A square, and we have got BC from here. This is the value of BC. What we have is, okay, okay, fine. I will erase this, and I will let you know that what we can do here is we can write 2 as root 2 into root 2. Afroza, right? Afroza, you need to leave your pen now and just write yes or no sir in the chat now. Yeah. So, and I can cut this and this, right? Yes. So we have a by root 2. What is this? This is BC. This is BC. Okay. Now I have did some shuttings here. AC square plus BC square. AC is equal to this. BC is equal to a by root 2 whole square. Fine. Up till here, Afroza, up till here. Yes, okay. I'm just erasing things, and I have taken out the root. I've taken out the squares. Can you understand now? I've taken out the squares. Okay. Then we have here. If this is clear, then this will be also clear, I guess. Okay, understood. Okay, okay, fine. So you didn't have much. I mean, you all would have easily calculated this, right? I mean, the circle portion you would have easily calculated. The only thing that is difficult is to identify. Do you all agree? Identify the right angle triangle. That was difficult. And the point you identified the right angle triangle, applying the maths and making the maths work for you is very easy. Do you all agree with this? You all agree with this? Okay, fine. You all agree with this, right? The identification was the difficult part. The maths wasn't difficult. The identification was difficult, right? So what we need to do is we need to empower our imaginations. We have not been trained. Like, I know, I mean, we all have from standard nursery to standard 11th, 12th, but there was not a single class in which there was a focus on improving our imagination. So neither me nor my teachers, neither am I expecting to have the students to have a great imaginations, neither my teachers expected me to have a great imaginations, right? So what happens in this chapter, the solid state chapter, is we focus on imagination. We focus on imaginations, and the mathematics here is very basic. Is very basic. The most things are the roots are the only thing that you are going to get. So I will here from now on will empower your imagination. I will try to empower your imaginations, and maths we can work it out like this. Fine. If you have any problem in maths, I can understand. But to make you identify and imagine, that is the only goal here. Fine. Okay. Now I'm giving you a homework question. I need to clear everything. Let me just clear everything. Fine. Any doubts till now? Any doubts till now? No, no. Okay, okay, fine. Also one more thing. I mean, I hope this was a very robust session of imaginations and a few calculations. And by the way, after the class, if you are having some imagination, okay, fine, what happened there, and you get stuck. No, wait a second. How is that 90 degree? How can I make that triangle 90 degree? Where is the 90 degree in that triangle? Or how should I join those lines? If you have anything like that, please make a note and ask that. In the first thing that you will do in the next session is ask me any doubt. Fine. There is one thing called it is basically used in cinema. It is called over the fridge phenomena. Over the fridge phenomena. Do you all watch movies? Do you all watch movies? I mean, have you all watched movies? I hope everyone. Yeah, exactly. Everyone watches movies. Yeah, at some point of time they stop, but still everyone. So in cinema, what is point is that, like, you may have seen a movie called maybe Inception. Huh. Okay. There is another movie which is called Looper. Right. There is some other movie which is called Interstellar. If anybody watches Drishyam was a movie in Hindi. I don't know the spelling. Drishyam. Right. These are complex movies. These are complex movies, right? So what happens is you are watching Inception and these other things. In Inception, what happens? Okay, fine, this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens. You go on. But after watching the movie, what happens is, after watching that movie, you go over the fridge. I mean, it is just a name given. Go over the fridge to take out water or something, and you're like, oh my god, how did that happen? That doesn't make any sense. Does that happen anytime? I mean, it happens with me a few times, but how did that happen? Wait, that doesn't make any sense in that movie. That is called over the fridge phenomena. The director of the movie, the director of the movie, the director of movies has no responsibility to explain the over the fridge phenomena. If you have watched movie and not asked a question, then the director's job is done, right? That he doesn't have to explain over the fridge phenomena if you are having overthoughts. But as a teacher, my sole job is to clear that over the fridge doubts. Okay. So if you have any thoughts after the class, the first thing that I will do is let you ask any doubts if you have regarding the previous class, because there may be sometimes. Okay. Okay. Something happened. Okay, fine. Now it is fine. Where was I? I get on a tangent sometimes. Yes, I was going to give you a question. Very nice. Yeah, I remember. What is this? This is a cube. Can you all see these two cubes? Yeah, you all can. Obviously, you all can. But this is not a cube. Now it is a cube. Now it is a cube. Okay. So what you need to do is, okay, fine. This is a point, and this is a point. Fine. These two are points. This is point A, and let me just make it the P point in other color. This is some other color, I hope. Yeah, this is other color. This is point B. Wait a second. Make it a bit clear. This is point B, and B is in the mid of body diagonal. And A here is in the mid of the edge. Is in the mid of the edge. What you need to do, what is going to be my question? The distance or length AB to calculate this. Need to calculate this length. Any doubt regarding the question? I mean, it's a bit tricky to make a line like this in my note, but I will try. No. Hints. Okay, this is the line. Hints. Okay, fine. I will give you a hint. I mean, I don't know whether those hints will work for you or not work for you. Somebody asked for a hint. The hint is number one hint. Use your brain. Second hint. Identify the right angle triangle. And you know, I have given priority to use your brain because this is a very valuable advice and a very valuable hint. I mean, yeah, it's very helpful. It's very, very valuable. I mean, everyone should be reminded of this hint. Use your brain. Any doubt regarding the questions? Any doubt regarding the question? Only I have given only one question, and you need to produce an answer to this question. I'm waiting for an answer. No doubts? Then please write no doubts. The question is clear. The question is very clear, right? I hope you have noted the question. Every one of you. Have you all noted the question? Noted the question. Okay. 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 I mean, only two answers. Why have you guys started to calculate or what? Okay. Okay. I need one more yes, sir. I'm waiting for one more yes, sir. I'm waiting for one more yes, sir. Please, if somebody has started writing or something. Okay, another. Okay, fine. I have. Okay, fine. I have got all the answers. I'm not waiting for anyone now. Zubaina, can you? I need to ask a question. What happens if somebody is somebody has connection issues? Do they get the recording or you all get the recordings or what? Okay, fine. Then that's cool. I'll get the recording. Okay. The question is clear. Now I will start with whatever I have taught till now. Okay. Okay. You'll get the recording. Whatever I have taught till now is going to be used in some other lessons. The only thing that I have did right now is to just scratch here and scratch your imagination here and there. Now I will start solid state. I mean, that was also solid state, but it was not useful directly. We will use all those values which we have got, the phase diagonal, the body diagonal, the distance between, the Pythagoras theorem, everything. Now I am asking, we have a solid state. The only assumption that I'm taking, going to take, okay, one more thing. One more thing. In science, we assume some things. We make some assumptions, like if we say the velocity is something, velocity, we know the velocity, and we are predicting in 2 hours the man will reach Delhi, then we are not considering anything like accidents and all, right? So these are assumptions. I mean, we don't explicitly say these things, but these are some assumptions that we make in our head. So that kind of assumption also is made in science. So what is the assumption in solid state that we are making? The assumption in solid state that we are making is the assumption. And remember this assumption, okay? Assumption. What is the only assumption? It is the only, no need to number it. the atoms are spherical. Clear about the shape of atom is sphericals. Clear about the assumption? Okay, fine. Now you need to answer me question. And remember this question, and this question is the starting point of the solid state, and this question will make you remember the whole chapter of solid state. Does solids have any vacant space in them? Like, if you are noting everything, then note this question. This question is the crux, is the starting point, and it will help you remembering the whole chapter in a very smooth way. This is the question. What do you say? There are only two options. There are only two options. Yes, no. Okay, only I will. Okay, no. Okay, no. I'm one answer, no. Okay, I've got another answer, which is yes. They have vacant space in them. Another yes. Okay, I am expecting only three answers. Why do I wait? Yes. And for the people who are saying no, imagine filling up your cubicle room. How will we make solid? We will take atoms. We'll take atoms. And we will fit. No. Now, though the person who has wrote no, imagine filling your room with footballs, the soccer balls, the footballs. Imagine it. So, will there be no space vacant? The person who answered no, solids have no vacant space. You need to answer now. If you fill your room with footballs, I mean, you can imagine some vacant space, right? Yeah, right. So, yes, they have. I think everyone is clear with this now. Wait a second. Now this, let me tell you, these vacant space are called voids or interstitial sites. Okay? But due to intermolecular force, they are together. I mean, whatever kind of, if you are the only thing that you have to remember is we are assuming that they are spheres. You just have to imagine now you have spheres of atoms and you are filling any kind of 3D figure, a cube, a cone. You can fill the whole cube, but there will be vacant spaces if the atom that we have assumed is of spherical shape. Yeah, because we have assumed. I mean, I have got the assumptions earlier than the question, right? When I said solid have any vacant space, then that means we are filling it with atoms, and these are called voids or interstitial sites. Now we'll learn about these voids. We'll learn about these voids. Let me clear everything. Very easy thing. One more, I will let you know one thing. The thing is solid state, but we are going to learn void. Why we are learning void? If you want to know something, first of all, know what it is not, right? If you know what it is not, I mean, this void is definitely, it is not solid. So first of all, we should know what is not solid. Inside the solid, what is not solid. If you know what is inside the solid, what is not solid, then we will have a very clear idea about what is solid. Fine. That is why for the firstly, we are going to study about voids, which is not solid. Void. Now, as I have told, this is about imagination. Although there are no 2D solids, but we will learn about 2D solids, and consequently, we will learn about 2D voids. And these 2D voids will give you a base of, will make a base, and then you can understand easily what are 3D voids. Fine. So now in 2D and 3D, if I make a circle in my this Zoom whiteboard, if you make this, what is this? This is obviously an atom. What is the shape of this? Now you all will be confused. Now you all will be confused. Answers, any answers? What is this? An atom. What is this? Circle or sphere? Circle or sphere? Sphere. Sphere. Circle. Sphere. Circle. Yeah, exactly. Okay. If I make something, a circular thing in my whiteboard, and don't say anything, then you have to consider this as a sphere. When I'm teaching solid state, and if you have been asked a question in solid state, right, and if the teacher and if the questioner has not mentioned 2D, then if he has not mentioned any dimensions, then you have to consider it as 3D, because solids and our universe and what we observe are in 3D. So if nothing is mentioned, it is a sphere. And when the questioner has mentioned a term like two dimension, then we will consider this a circle. Fine. Now we need to know what is the space occupied by circle. The space occupied by any two-dimensional object is the area, and the area for circle is pi r square. And the space occupied by any three-dimensional object is known as volume, and the volume is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Everyone, any doubts till now? I hope no doubts. No doubt? Or any doubts? No, sir. No, sir. Okay. Okay, fine. Clear. Okay. Also, now you all tell me, what should I teach first? But in a reasonable way. Should a person teach 2D voids or 3D voids first? Two D. Very good. Yes, right. Oh my God, 3D. Why 3D? One can teach one can teach anything, but remember this thing, we are building imagination, and we need to build a base, and then we need to extend to our universe. What we do first, in 11th standard, we read ideal gas. Ideal gas. There is nothing as ideal gas. I mean, no gas is ideal gas, right? Then we have that PV is equal to nRT. Then after that we read van der Waal equation, real gas, and it has all the P terms and V terms. We have assumption. So first we will read there is nothing as 2D solids or 2D voids, but we will read first 2D, then we will extend it to 3D. Also, always try to reason in your mind what the teacher is going to teach next in every class. It will help you a lot. It will help you a lot. For 2D voids, what you can do is you can, and this is a circle, you can take another circle to create a 2D void, and you fine. Now what you have done is created this red vacant space. Red vacant space. Now this is our void. The red thing is our void, right? So if we have made a void, we should name it, right? We should name it. So what name should we give to this void? So the easiest thing was the atoms which are making this void. What we need to do is we need to connect the center of these atoms. We need to connect okay, fine, I will move the center of these atoms. Okay, what is this? What is this three-sided shape called? I'm going very slow now, very slow. Triangle. Okay, fine. So we will name this. We will name this triangular void. There is a space in between here. Okay, there is a space here. We will name it triangular void. Fine. There is now this void. This void. Consider this red dot as an atom. Can you all consider that? I mean, it is not very big. It is small. You all know, like for example, if I take, yeah, you all can examine, right? If I take Na plus, this is very small. If I take Cl negative, it is very large, or I minus, it is even greater, very large. So we can imagine that these all circular, big circle, black circles are Cl negative anions, and this red thing is Na plus. We can imagine that, right? I mean, I hope no one has any problem in imagining that. Now, what the questioners ask, and there is a concept. What is the coordination number? Coordination number of, I'm writing this in a short form, triangular void is equal to, the coordination of a triangular void is equal to, any guesses? What is coordination number? Coordination number is the number of atoms that touch that particular void, and in this case it is equal to number. This is hash. Hash is used, is equivalent to, oh my god, I am writing all the math symbols, this must confuse me. Let me explain this. Is equivalent to number. When I write hash, it is number of atoms that make the void. Everyone clear with this? Are you clear with this line? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. It's very simple, but still I'm asking it because it is important. Okay, fine. So now tell me the coordination number. Tell me the answer, the value, coordination number of triangular void. Okay, fine. I will explain again. Somebody has requested to explain again. What is the coordination number of void? Coordination number of void is nothing but the number of atoms that make that particular void. We have made a void by 3 atoms. Just count the number of atoms which are responsible to make this void. And that is the coordination number of that void. right? So coordination number of triangular void is equal to 3. Very good. Very good. Now I am making another sequence and I am making another void. I'm placing atoms and I'm making void. Then I will ask you some questions. What is the name of this void? Name of this void. Name of this void. What do we do for naming square void or cubical void? Okay, fine. I mean, cubical void is not reasonable because we are dealing with 2D and we know cube is a 3D object. So I will reject that answer and I will take, I mean, the square void. Okay, fine. Square, I've got 2 answers as a square. I'm waiting for one more answer. I'm waiting for one more answer. I'm waiting for one. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What we do is we join the dots. We join the centers of all these atoms. But what happens is we have got triangular, but for square we have a term called square planar void. We have a term called square planar void. Got it? You may have come across this term earlier also. Now, coordination number of square planar void. Coordination number of square planar void. Very good. I've got one answer. That is the right answer. I'm waiting for other answers. Very good. Very good. I'm waiting for one more answers. One more answer. One more answer. One more answer. If somebody is having a problem, oh, okay, it's the same person who asked me to explain it again. Afroza, I guess you are having a problem, right? I hope she is present here. Acha, you said 4. I didn't receive the message. I'm really sorry. I didn't receive. Okay. Okay. Fine. I'm sorry. Actually, I didn't receive the message. You said 4. I mean, in the audio, like, and you unmuted yourself, or you wrote 4. Didn't receive the message. Oh, okay, fine. I got other messages. Okay, fine. You were the first one to tell. Okay, fine. Everyone is clear. Now I will ask you a question. In a 2D solid, is made up of two atoms, A and B. A and B. A is present in the corners of the corners of, let us say, triangle B is present in the triangular void question is, what is the coordination number of atom B? This is the question. Any doubt in the question? Any doubt in the question? First of all, any doubt in the question? Okay, fine. Then answer the question. Answer the question then. You will answer this question. You may or may not answer this question. I mean, then we will end the class. I've got an answer which is a wrong answer. Diangmo, you may reconsider your answer. I mean, I've got same answers from both of them. Afroza, you may also reconsider the answer. Oh my God. Okay, fine. I've got all the answers, but no, none of the answer is correct. Let me make. Okay, tell me what should I write here, A or B, in the black circle? The circle with black border. Is it atom A or is it atom B? Okay. Now this is our B, right? Clear up till now? Clear up till now? Yes. One more yes. I need a one more yes. Please keep aside your pens. If you're writing something now, please don't write. Okay. What the questioner has asked is the coordination number of B. What is coordination number? Is equal to the number of atoms touching or neighbors of the atom or atom. Okay. If you are asking coordination number of atom, then first of all, what you need to do is which atom? B atom. Fine. Then you need to count the number of neighbors of B atom or the number of atoms which are touching the B atom. Fine. Then it is easily 3. Also, note this thing. If an atom is present in a void, then the coordination number of that atom is equal to the coordination number of void. Okay. What I have said in the question that B is in triangular void and asked the coordination number of atom B. And what I have written to note down here for all of you is when I said it is in triangular void, then I said that the coordination number of atom B is 3. I've got one answer 3 now. I think one of them understood. Did other two also understood? Should I explain it again? Clear. Okay, fine. Yes, you have given the answer. I am waiting for the other two. No, sir, it's clear. It's clear. Okay, fine. I mean, 2D is easy. I mean, when we will come to 3D, then things will be much easier because if you have a very firm base, then the 3D will be easy. Okay, now I'm clearing this. I'm clearing this. Now I will ask a sequence of question. I will ask a sequence of question, and I need all of you to answer very fast. Okay, Diango, did you understand? I didn't get your answer. Oh my God. Oh my God. Diango, did you understand the question and answer about coordination number of atom B? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So first of all, what did we do? It will be very fast. Don't worry, it will be very fast. First of all, we saw the syllabus and stuff. Leave that aside. About cube. Tell me, phase diagonal is equal to how much? Phase diagonal is equal to how much? Fast, fast. Quick revision of this class. Quick revision of this class. Oh my God. Okay, fine. Wait a second. I should. Length. I'm sorry. I mean, you all no need to be sorry. My question was not very clear. Okay, fine. I got one answer right. You may see the copy. It's all good. I'm not having a quiz now. You can see the copy. If you have noted somewhere, please look at it. I urge you to look at it. Please answer, but I mean, I have got only one answer, I guess. Let me check. Okay, fine. Only one answer. It's right answer. Okay, the person who has answered already, they can answer what is body diagonal, the length of body diagonal. Length of body diagonal. Very good. Very good. Other two, please. Length. I'm asking length. Oh my God. Okay, fine. I guess you didn't take a note, I guess. Please make a note. Please make a note. These two are very important. You all will be needing this later. And I know two of you here are friends. I hope you both are not sharing the answers. Okay. Then next thing that we did was void. This was basically what we did, and all you have to remember about this is identify right angle triangle. Okay, voids. There are 2D voids and there are 3D voids. We will start with 3D voids next class. About 2D voids, we know there are two types: triangular, and tell me the coordination number of triangular void. And then we have square planar. Now tell me the coordination number of square planar voids. Okay, fine. Another waiting for other people to answer. Okay, okay. We have just learned. I'm waiting for one more answer. The coordination number of triangular void and the coordination number of square planar void. And if someone is not taking notes, please take notes. I mean, you will obviously be getting the okay, fine. Everybody answered. I guess this is the internet connection which make it slow. Fine. This is something which you have learned, and we will deal with 3D voids. We will deal with 3D voids. So I'm ending the class now. I hope you all have nice evening now. Fine. And you all can, I guess, leave now. All guys can leave. Okay. Any doubts, by the way? When is the next class? You will be informed. You will be informed. You will be informed. Most probably a day or two, after a day or two. After a day or two. Most probably. Most probably. Most probably. And please think about the doubts. Okay, the over the fridge phenomena. Okay, I mean, if you will be thinking, then maybe you will come up with some doubts, and it will be good. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Love is okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Nishkarsh ji.